Hi everyone, I'm Robert Craven of ScalePassion. I'm the founder of ScalePassion, and I'm blessed to be here with you today. I actually led a small group meeting yesterday, and there were some questions around how to do an 80-20 analysis, which I think is one of the most powerful ways to really hone in and focus on your top customers. It also helps you to set some rules for your business that can really help you to hunker down, especially in tough times if you need to focus. So I thought I would take some time tonight and walk you through how to do an 80-20 here looking at this Excel spreadsheet. So let's jump in real quick. So what you see here is the customers, and obviously I've hidden customer names just to keep the innocent out of it. And then year-to-date sales, you can also do this monthly. You can also do it by profit. But let's just start with sales just to do a simple example here. We've got year-to-date sales for all the customers, and in this case we have, let's just see here how many we've got. We've got about 422 customers, and the total year-to-date sales is $17.7 million. Now this works just as effectively in a $5 million company or a $2 million company or a $200 million company. So basically this is sales by customer, and it's been sorted by sales with the top customer at the top in terms of sales. So now what we're going to do in Excel is I'm going to simply hit, for the first line item here, I'm going to hit equal, and I'm going to equal the $3.3 million in the first line item. Okay, so that's going to equal that. That's one customer's worth of sales. Now for this next column, I'm going to hit equals the top, the 3.3 million plus the number right beside it. Okay, so now what we've got is a cumulative sales approach here. So 3.3 million plus the 2.1 million equals the 5.5 million. Now I'm going to simply grab the handle here and drag this all the way down to the end through the 422 customers. And you're going to see how I drag that down, what it's going to do. It's basically going to accumulate sales all the way through to the 422. And this is important, and I'll show you why in just a second. All right. So we take that to the 422. You can see I need to expand this out a little bit to make sure it gets it all in. But there's my 17.75 million. That should equal when you get to the bottom. Okay, 17.753, 17.753. So we're good there. So I'm going to go back up to the top, and I'm going to put cum sales, okay, into this column. And basically what that says is that if you look at, and I'm kind of a freak about all that stuff, so if you look at the top 2 customers, they represent 5.5 million in sales. If you look at the top 10 customers, they represent 9.2 million in sales. So basically I've just accumulated that all the way down to make that work. So now what I'm going to do is here is I'm going to add a column called percent of sales. And this is going to tell me what percent of sales that particular customer represents. So now very easily, I'm going to hit equals this column, the first column, and I'm going to hit divided by, and I'm going to go all the way to the bottom, and I'm going to hit the total sales here at the bottom, okay, the 17.753. So the first number divided by that. Now, in your formula bar, you're going to want to put, and you probably can't see this on the video, but you're going to want to put dollar signs in front of that cell. So, for example, boy, I wish you could see it. On my Mac, you can't really see it. But this cell is D425. So, in the equation, you're going to see D425. Now, what you want to do is make that D425 look like $D, $425. And what that does in the equation is it makes sure that that row and column, that cell, never changes. So it's always going to divide by that last column. Now I'm going to go up here and hit percent, and it's going to tell me that that number 1 customer represents 19% of sales for the company. Now I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to drag it all the way down, all the way down to the end, 422 customers. And it's important that you do all of your customers on here. And this is really only the first line of analysis, but it really tells you a lot. Now what you'll see is that there's a lot of 100% here. Okay, these customers that have only done $75 with the business in comparison to a customer that's done $3 million, very, very small. So we go all the way up here. You can see lots of 100%, and then you start getting into some of the other percents. Now the beautiful thing here is what I now do is I go back and I find the 80. the 80%, and this is why we call it an 80-20 analysis. And what I do is I highlight that row. Okay, so basically I highlight this row with some yellow, and then you can see very quickly. And I'm gonna do this a little different. I'm gonna hit a 1 here, and I'm gonna drag that 1 all the way down to the end of the 422, and that's going to allow for me to put a percentage on the number of customers, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second here. So we're down to 422. All the way up, I'm just going to say fill series, so that gets me to 423. I'm going to insert a column here. Insert, and let me make these a little smaller so that you can see the whole thing. Okay, customer name. So I'm going to put percent customer. Okay. Now this is just going to be equal to that number divided by 422, since we already know that that's how many customers there are. And I'm going to hit percent, and I'm going to go ahead and add a decimal point just so you can kind of see what's going on here. So 0.2% of the customers is one customer. So now I'm going to drag this all the way down to the 422, and you're going to see where we're going to get. Takes a little bit of time. And as I drag that down, we're going to just drop it right to there, and you're going to see this is 422, so that equals 100. Okay, so now we've got 100%, laid out on our customers, and then over here we have the the percent of sales. So now when you go back down here to this 80% and you fill that in, we can see that 10% of our customers represent 80% of sales. Now a normal Pareto principle says that should be 20%. So we have a problem here. We are kind of leveraged and we're at risk. 10% of our customers, 46 out of 422 customers, represent 80% of sales. So that's significant. What that also says is that 90% of our customers represent less than 20% of sales. Now that's very significant. You need to be asking yourself, who are these customers that are below the 90%? And is it worthwhile for me to be doing business with them? Now, the way that I've applied this in the past is a couple of ways. Number one, I'm going to go get in front of my top 20 customers as soon as possible. And I recommend that for all my clients or anyone that I'm advising. Go get in front of your top 20 customers, find out what their needs are, and really get close to them because they represent a significant amount of sales. Now, what's also very interesting is that 50% of sales in this case, 50% of sales in the case of this particular example is represented by 9 customers. So your top 10 customers is over 50% of sales. So you need to be, as a CEO or as the leader of your division, in front of those customers ASAP to find out how you could serve them. Now, asking them questions like, what trends are they seeing? How can we serve? What are the best suppliers or the best people that are serving you? How are they the best, and how can we become that? And so first and foremost is to go talk to your top customers and find out how you can serve them. Another thing you might want to do is to go down here and find out who are these customers that are only doing $19,000 worth of sales or below, and find that line. Typically, I'd probably draw that line at about 80%, and I start to ask questions around what can we do to increase business with those people or stop doing business with them, because you're spending 80% of your resources and time and effort on customers that are producing less than 20% of sales. So it's a fantastic way to quickly analyze your business and to get a sense of where you stand. Now, if you're one of those people who are lucky enough to have an 80% line and over here it says 50%, now you're very well diversified. You've got lots of customers, which means you've got less risk in your market, and that's also very good to know. So just wanted to throw this out there. Some folks today were asking about an 80-20 analysis, and this is a quick and dirty way to show you how it's done. Any questions, go to ScalePassion.com, hit the Contact Us button, and I'll be happy to give you a complimentary coaching session. Thank you so much. Hope this is helpful. Take care.